welcome back to my channel. And surprise, your girl's back home. I am filming in a different location because I'm just trying to knock out these reviews. So the TV's right here and I'm just trying to watch all these shows and get caught up. So, but this is a review for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 15. This is episode 18. It's called Closing Chapters. And child, it is exactly what the thumbnail says. Thank God this is the season finale because I am over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm not on anyone's side anymore at this point. Like, I see everyone's point, as I've mentioned, and all this is a rinse and repeat, and I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. And I feel like it's everyone's fault. You know, towards the end, I was just like, Southern girl. Southern, now you want to be in this too? Oh my God. So yeah, but before we get into that, you know what? No, let's not waste any time. Let's get into this because I have two other Housewives shows that I actually want to review that I want to get into. So without further ado, let's get into the episode. So we pick up where we left off, where this honestly didn't need to be continued. I know why they did it, but it did not need to be that. Sutton and Erica are, well, Erica shows up at Sutton's house. We find out Sutton invited Erica there once she found out Erica wasn't going to Dorit's situation. And no matter how much you slice it, Sutton, Erica is given this plan because neither of y'all had anything going on. And so, honestly, the only one that has somewhat of an excuse to not go is Kyle. And I hate this whole entire episode. We didn't address the actual reason why she had a valid reason I'm not coming. She's planning her daughter's wedding. I would say that is a major reason why she couldn't come. Not the other stuff. Just the fact that she's planning her daughter's wedding. And like the wedding was like 72 hours from like, you know, the event. Anyway. So they get into that, and then we find out that Erica didn't tell Dorit that she wasn't coming, which was really messed up. And it's just like, girl, you're wrong for that. But Erica's trying to say she feels a way. I mean, and I get why Erica's mad because she, from her standpoint, and this is if you, like, she was trying to be the mediator, but she really wasn't. She was always somewhat more on Kyle's side. And we know why. We've already talked about last episode. So, I will say this. I feel like this review is going to be very short because I feel like I'm just regurgitating stuff over and over again. So, there's that. And it's not that I'm tired. I'm just annoyed. I'm annoyed with this. The season finale wasn't it. I'll just be honest with you. To me, it was very underwhelming. It was just more of the same thing. The past 3 or 4 episodes have been the same thing over and over again to me. Like, yes, we're getting somewhere where we're finally talking, we're finally arguing, but it's the same argument over and over again. So are we really getting anywhere? Is it really anything different than what we've been seeing the whole season? No. We're not really even talking about what's really going on with the people. So anyway, let me just move on. So we see the rest of the ladies at Dorit's party. Jennifer Tilly breaks her crystal Gucci teddy bear like handbag that she had, and it was $40,000. And the way Dorit and Bose was looking, like they felt like their insides were like burning, I felt the same way. I was like, God dang, 40,000 just down the drain. You know what I could do with 40,000, child? Anyway, 40K. But anyway, Dorit is trying to get prepared for her speech, and she's still very bothered the fact that them 3 did not show up. Because this is what makes matters worse. Amanda did show up. And Amanda really, out of everyone, had no reason to not show up. Because her and Dorit aren't even friends, number 1. Number 2, Dorit has been treating Amanda like crap the whole season. But yet she showed up. So that doesn't really help. So when it comes to that situation, I kind of am on the side of Dorit when it comes to that. But the end of the day is I'm not really on anyone's side, though, because I don't really like most of the people I'm talking about. Like, I don't care for Dorit. I don't care for Erica. I don't care for Kyle. It's just like most people in this cast are not likable. I'm trying to. I'm kind of okay with Rachel Zoe. I guess I don't know. They need a cast shakeup very badly. That's just it. That's it. That's all. Anyway, so then Amanda within the party, we do see Amanda and Rachel talking, and they seem to be bonding on the fact that they're just glad that Dorit is like becoming independent and not no longer depending on the man to make her own means of ways. And so that's where we kind of got out of that. We also found out that's why Amanda showed up. She's like, look, I don't care how much, I don't really like Dorit. My whole entire mission in life is to help women, empower women. And me not showing up for something that she's trying to do to help empower herself would be like a bad look, basically. So, but do we think that she genuinely wanted to show up for Dorit? No, she didn't. But Eric, like, what I will say is I do want to give Amanda another chance, but I need Amanda to stop caring about what she's very camera aware, a little too camera aware when it comes to how she's moving and behaving. And I need that to change for next season. But I don't see it changing. I think that's just her. She's trying to push her brand, so she's not going to do anything that makes her look crazy. And that's why we're getting this version of Amanda. But anyway. So then Dorit does a big reveal, and yeah, it's a nice cover. And it's called Unburdened. Give it to Dorit. Dorit is one of those people, she always picks a word that has a mouthful for like things. Homeless, not toothless, or toothless, not homeless. I forgot which version it was, and then now unburdened versus unbothered. Like she has this knack of picking things that doesn't really roll off the tongue well at all. And so, do we think this book's going to come out ever? And if it does, are any y'all interested in reading it? I don't care. I'm not going to read it. But yeah, anyway. So, but Dorit does end up thanking Amanda because it was big of Amanda to show up. But we know why she showed up, really, really. We talked about last episode. And then Dorit's like, well, we have one more thing to celebrate. And then we're talking about Beau's engagement. You already know how I feel about all that. Don't care about that either. Anyway, but the ring, I guess, is cute. Oh, and the thing that was a little funny that kind of cracked me up in this scene is that Beau said she did her wig to make it look like Rachel Zoe's. Anyway, next. So then next we're at Farrah's house, Kyle's oldest daughter, and they're finishing up the wedding planning because the wedding is like in 72 hours. And Kyle makes this wedding about her. I mean, she does. There's really no nice way of doing it. She is making it about her because she's tying it into the whole idea that her and Mo are no longer together. And it hurts. It hurts her. She wanted for her to walk her girls down the aisle with them two still being together. But fast forward, when we see the footage of the wedding, it doesn't give that they're not together. So, how I don't know. I feel like when it comes to the Kyle and Mo situation, because we still don't really know what happened, I'm not invested, so I don't care. And see, that's the problem with this show. There's so many things I don't care about because I don't know enough about it to care, number one. Or number two, we're getting a surface version of what they're arguing about and not what they're really arguing about. So it's just kind of like, why do you expect us to care who are watching this? I don't. So anyway, next we'll talk about Dorit. Dorit meets up with, and I think that's the other thing with this season. Bravo. I know Dorit gave y'all a cool moment last season with the cigarette. We cannot have a Dorit heavy season again. I'm exhausted. She's exhausting. She's really a lot. Now, do I agree with how she has been handling some of the women? Yes, because she has been treated unfairly, but at the same time, she is annoying. She's not likable. And I'm sorry, Pepperidge Farm will never forget how she was treating Garcelle. Actually, Pepperidge Farm won't forget how most of this cast treated Garcelle. This might be my last season, quiet as kept, of reviewing Beverly Hills unless they do a serious cast shakeup. They can keep a couple of people because I feel like they have to because they're not going to do a full reboot. But this version of the cast, I cannot. I cannot. Sorry. Anyway, so but Dorit meets up with Rachel and they basically talk about how the three didn't show up and like Sutton made matters worse by not showing up, which I agree with that because Sutton girl, you are trying to make an argument happen that doesn't need to happen. You are being way too sensitive and it's quite annoying. I would be treating you the same way Dorit's been treating you when it comes to the back and forth that you've been causing this whole time. If anything, Dorit has more reasons to be upset with you than you have to be with her. There's that. And then with Erica, that was messed up. That was really messed up. At least Kyle called her and let her know she wasn't coming. And Kyle actually has a valid reason to not come. So I feel like out of everyone, Dorit wasn't really that upset with Kyle, even though Dorit's trying to be upset with Kyle. And that's another thing. Dorit wants to be upset with them. So even if they were doing the right thing, she was going to make a reason to be upset with them. And so it's just hard for me to want to like buy in when it comes to any of this. So they kind of talk about that. That's that on that. Moving on. So then next we are at Nikki's. So we find out the last event that they're going to is actually Nikki's jury party. Nikki Hilton. Well, that's not her last name anymore. Formerly Nikki Hilton. She's married with kids now, but Nikki looks amazing, and it was just so good to see her on the screen for Bravo. And I was like, oh, I'm hoping maybe next season we get a Paris appearance. Can we get a Paris appearance? Anyway, I'm sorry. I was just happy because of all the Hiltons, Nikki was actually my favorite because she's like the most like down to earth of all of them, and she was probably, from what I remember, don't quote me, I think she was least problematic. Because all of them are a little problematic. I don't remember ever hearing Nikki saying some weird stuff. Just saying. Anyway, so the women are on their way to the party. Erica and the whole Erica versus Dorit thing's being talked about on the way there. Erica's talking to Rachel, and Erica's being a bitch about the whole thing. She's like, yeah, I don't think I owed her explanation why I didn't why I didn't show up, so therefore I didn't give her anything. And Rachel's like, okay, that's really messed up, as it is. But now, unfortunately, with Dorit, apparently with this whole argument, Dorit has unlocked Ice Queen Erica. So we're getting Ice Queen Erica. So that's pretty much what this fast forward. When Erica and Dorit got into it, you had Ice Queen Erica. And Ice Queen Erica kind of killed Dorit. I ain't gonna hold you. This is the first time, like, I feel like the last couple times where Dorit and Erica kind of went back and forth, Dorit had her. This one was like, oh, Erica, I think Erica won this one. Anyway, and then Bose and Dorit are talking about it, and Bose is like, yeah, she apparently wanted your attention. She said, do I have your attention now? So she basically did that for attention, according to what Bose tells Dorit. And see, and this is to me one of the things that I find very problematic about this whole entire season. Oh, Bose is skating through everything that she's doing. Because Bose is not helping any of this. She's making it just as bad. I mean, she is fanning the flames a little bit. Well, not a little bit. She's fanning the flames. So, and also, too, we go back at the very beginning. Bose is the one who brought up Dorit to Kyle and not the other way around. Bose has been skating scot-free when it comes to all this. And I'm wondering during the reunion if we're going to address it. Based off the previews, it's giving we're not. It's giving that Bose is going to continue to skate scot-free, which is, again, But it makes sense because Dorit is not going to turn on Bose or Rachel because those are all her only friends she has on the show right now. So there's that. Anyway, so then we see that Denise Richards arrives. And then Amanda, Erica, and Kyle are talking. I think they asked Amanda if she went to the thing. And she was like, yeah, I did. And she basically explained her decision of why. We already talked about it. And then and then Erica hard launches her relationship with that man, John. And John FaceTimes and talks on the show. Again, it's giving nothing. I don't care. Because we've known the whole entire season you're dating this man, and now you're heart launching him because it's the season finale. That's what it's giving me. I'm not impressed. Anyway, next. So Jennifer Tilly is like, hey, because everyone was there, clearly, including Natalie. Natalie's just kind of just there in the background. Again, why is she there? Whatever. But Jennifer's like, yeah, I have to leave. Oh, I forgot to mention, Jennifer Tilly ate a Tums at the other event on the floor. That was gross, Jennifer Tilly. That was not cute. Not cute. But anyway, Jennifer Tilly then leaves, and she, because she has an event that she forgot was like later on in the evening, so she leaves. And then Bose and Dorit finally arrive because they weren't there yet. And once they arrive, Dorit is being dramatic, and Bose is like, girl, what? And so then Bose goes to sit with the rest of the ladies while Dorit and Denise talk divorce, and Denise tries to give her words of encouragement, basically keeping her head up and all that good stuff. And we find out from this, which I would love to have Denise Richards back on the show full time. I just want to call that out. But we find out, though, throughout this interaction that with Denise going through her divorce, currently she's been able to lean on Charlie a lot, Charlie Sheen. So, like, her and Charlie in a very good place and all that. So, we kind of get into that a little bit. And so then after that, the rest of the ladies, Dorit finally does join the rest of the group. Denise leaves. And, yeah, it's Dorit and then Kathy arrives too, because it seems like, at this point, the event's about to wrap up. You can tell that's what's happening here. Because Kathy was basically co-hosting with Nikki, because Nikki's her daughter. So, yeah. Dorit and Kyle... Dorit was just trying to figure out, Kyle got this whole thing started. Let's just be so for real. Kyle got the whole party started. She was like, hey, how's your event go? And she knew that was going to get on Dorit's nerves because she's like, you weren't there. But Dorit didn't take the bait initially. She was like, it was fine. It went over really, really well. And then from then, Kyle kind of came at Dorit with some rah-rah energy from jump. Like, really, like, getting at her about, like, how, like, she's like, well, you can't expect me to, for me to come after what's been happening. Like, she was kind of talking to her like that and stuff. And Dorit's like, okay, kind of trying not to take the bait all the way. And then Kyle started the crap that she's been doing this whole entire time, which is also beginning on my nerves, is like, she keeps saying, everyone thinks this way. Everyone thinks this way. Kyle, you're fighting with Dorit. It is you versus Dorit. Quit trying to bring other people into it. And you wonder why this is where I end up having to be somewhat on Dorit's side, and why she thinks you are rallying up the troops, because it's giving you are rallying up the troops when you do that. If you have a problem with Dorit, say you have a problem with Dorit. Versus you saying everyone thinks this way, everyone thinks that way. I was like, oh my gosh, Kyle, why do you do this? Why can't you stand on your own and stand on business? Okay? And then Of course, Dorit was able to just get her out of there. But then, child, once Erica got into the mix, that's where it ended, because Erica don't need to do all that. Erica actually can take Dorit when she's Ice Queen Erica. When she is not Ice Queen Erica, she can't. And so she went to Ice Queen Erica, and she was able to really get under Dorit's skin. And Dorit was speechless, because it seemed like, at least from this scene, it seems like Dorit was genuinely hurt. She was like, "Oh, you really don't care." And Dorit's like, and Erica's like, "No, I don't. I don't care anymore." And I'm like, damn. So whether you buy into whatever is happening here or not, this did pull me in. I will say that. The Erica and Dorit back and forth is pulling me in more than anything else. That's pretty much because it seems like that is truly a fractured situation. They were cool until they weren't. I don't really buy it so much from Kyle and Dorit, because this has been going on for seasons now. This is like season 3 of the Rift, so it's not really hitting the same. But Dorit kind of has enough. She walks away. But it was not a walk off. She walked away. So Erica kind of took that. And then after that, then Rachel kind of talks to Kyle, and she's like, "So where do we go from here? Like, are you still inviting her to the wedding?" And Kyle's like, "I hope she comes. I mean, she's invited, yeah." And so, but then after that, Rose goes to try to find Dorit because she wants to talk to her. But then Sun follows after her, and Sun just makes matters worse and just like adds more sauce to the problem. And she's like, "So when you said, I'm going to hate you forever, what was that about?" It was like, girl, that was clearly a joke. Stevie Wonder could see that was a joke. And she even said it was a joke after she said it. And then she's like, "Well, that hurt my feelings." I was like, girl, please. And Dorit handled that the way she should handle that, and basically was like, "Get out my face." She's like, "I'm done. I don't really." So basically, Dorit returned served on Sutton and went Ice Queen on her. She's like, "I don't care." And Sutton tried to walk away, and then after that, she was like, "Nice bow, by the way, Sutton." Like some Regina George though, because she did not think that bow was nice, and like Bo was like, "It was nice." Dorit's like, "I was kidding." And also too, that was a little bit of a stray. If you didn't catch it, that Dorit kind of gave Bose, because child, we're here, right? We've been talking about how Bose fashions ain't been fashioning. So it's rich sometimes. It actually is rich to hear Bose talking about how Sun doesn't really have fashion, but she ain't got fashion either. The difference is Sutton doesn't have fashion, but she also doesn't have a body, so it makes it worse. Bose has a body, but it's like, girl, what are you putting on your body? And what are these wigs? Like, I kid. So anyway, from there, then we get into the, into season stuff, and I'll read that, and then we're going to wrap up this review, because again, you can already tell I'm just like over it. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to go over their end credits in no particular order, just because it's time to wrap this review up. So with Erica, it said Erica is set to start her $25 million trial in April of 2026. I haven't heard anything in the news about it, because it's April 20th today, and I haven't heard anything about it, but we'll see. Things are looking up though. Erica is very happy with her and her relationship with John, and her new DJ career as DJ Pretty Mess. All the housewives now are becoming DJs. Actually, Bravo celebrities in general. Okay, well that's all Erica gave us in her closed credit. And side note, spoiler alert, None of the close creds really did anything. Which tells you that there really needs to be a cast shakeup. Badly. Anyway, next. Okay, so then Bose plans to have one more round of IVF while planning her 2 weddings on 2 different continents. She and Keely are still searching for their new home, but Keely is yet to get his own drawer. Y'all already know how I feel about that whole situation. I don't care. So anyway, next. So next is Sutton. Sutton is working on making Sutton Brown official and keeping her Zen mentality and keeping away from vodka, also staying boring. While she struggles with her empty nest, Sutton tries to find solace in her gang of pets and rhobh. And she can leave the show and keep her pets and rhobh. Okay, here's Kyle's. In the end, Dorit did show up for Alexia's wedding, but Kyle and Dorit have not spoken since. While Kyle and Mo did not end up sharing a room at the wedding, neither are ready to pull the trigger on the divorce. More of the same crap. And the wedding happened that we barely talked about this season. Also, we're not talking about what you got going on. I explained it in the last video. We don't need to explain it again. Anyway, next. So Amanda's was a little different. She actually got 2 credits. And honestly, I hate to say it, she kind of deserved it because she carried the whole entire the first half of the season because they're all picking on her. So this is what it says though. Amanda and Eddie legally tied the knot in the civil service on September 9th, 2025. So that was the first part of it. And then we actually saw the footage of them getting married. And of course, she was obnoxious about it, richer and richer. I was like, girl, enough. But she can't help herself. That's just her. And then from there, then we got more of her. And she stated, Amanda is still plans on having an extravagant wedding in October. So she just got out the way, and then she's doing like a larger one. In the meantime, she is manifesting a bestseller for her new self-published book, Golly as F. Yeah. I think it's about her cult stuff. So anyway, that's the other bit. Okay, so then Dorit, Dorit's book is set to release in June 2026. We'll see if that really happens. While her divorce is still pending, she lost dead weight in both her relationship and friendships and loves being unburdened. Yeah. That's Dorit. And then last but not least, let's get into what Rachel Zoe says. Okay, and last but not least, we have Rachel's, and her states the following. Well, if I get pulled up here. While the boys' relationship with Roger has been improving lately, Rachel's divorce is still pending with no end in sight. She's been debuting a new romance on the red carpet of Beverly Hills, not by the valet stand. Yeah. And their ending credit gave what they gave this season. Nothing. Anyway, that does conclude this review. We'll see you next week for the reunion, what comes to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But in the meantime, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you get anything on the content. It's your girl Sharon, aka the Melanin Nostalgic Runner. And I will see you next time. Bye.